What if eating 3 meals a day is the reason you're always tired? I recently ran an experiment on myself. I quit breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, before you jump to conclusions, I want to make one thing crystal clear. I didn't stop eating. I just stopped eating by the clock. And this wasn't fasting. Think about it. From early morning commutes in London, to hurried desk lunches in Toronto, to late dinners with family in Nairobi. Most of us eat based on schedules, not actual hunger. We eat because it's noon, or because the meeting is over, or because everyone else is. By the end of this video, you'll understand why my body reacted so differently to breaking this pattern. And you'll hear about the one thing that surprised me the most. Let's dive into the 15 things that happened when I quit mealtimes. First, the initial shock. My body didn't panic. I fully expected hunger chaos, a constant, roaring demand for food, but it never came. The hunger I felt arrived in gentle waves, not as a desperate emergency. My energy didn't crash immediately. The mental fear of being hungry was far stronger and more dramatic than the actual physical sensation. My body adjusted way faster than I expected, proving to me that my routine mattered more than the timing of the food itself. Your body adapts. Second, I learned what real hunger actually feels like. Honestly, most of us have never felt true hunger. We feel boredom, hunger, stress hunger, or clock-based hunger. We see a snack in the office break room in New York and suddenly feel hungry. But true, physical hunger. It felt surprisingly calm and clear. There was no urgency, no shakiness, no panic. It was just a quiet, simple signal from my body. Third, my energy became incredibly stable. The dreaded 3 p.m. crash, gone. Instead of sharp spikes and dramatic dips in energy after a meal, my energy levels became smooth and sustained. There was no post-lunch food coma feeling. My mornings felt clearer, and my focus became much more predictable throughout the day. No crashes. It was a game changer. Fourth, my relationship with food completely changed. Food stopped controlling my day. Before, I was constantly thinking about what my next meal would be, spending hours on meal prep, and feeling anxious about food choices. Suddenly, that obsession vanished. Eating became intentional, not just a reaction to the clock. I felt less guilt around my food choices and developed a much deeper appreciation for the meals I did eat. For busy parents in Sydney juggling a million things, imagine the mental space this frees up. Fifth, my digestion felt so much lighter. It was like my stomach finally got a well-deserved break. The constant bloating I used to experience disappeared. I felt more comfortable after eating, and that heavy, sluggish feeling was gone. My whole body just felt less inflamed and more at ease. A little bit of rest helps, which brings me to number 6. I ate less without even trying. I set no rules, no portion controls, nothing. Yet, my portions naturally shrank. Because I was listening to real hunger, I ate just enough to feel satisfied. The mindless eating and constant snacking just faded away. I wasn't forcing restriction. My body was simply guiding me to what it needed. And on that note, number 7. Cravings lost their power. I used to think cravings were these massive, uncontrollable monsters. But cravings fade when hunger is respected. My urges for sugar and late-night snacks drastically reduced. Emotional eating, which was a huge crutch for me, almost disappeared. Hunger felt neutral, not like a crisis to be solved with junk food. The control naturally returned to me. This is a huge deal, especially in cultures with late dinner habits like in Madrid, where late-night snacking can be common. Number 8 was a big one. My mental clarity improved. My mind just felt quieter. I realized how much mental energy I used to spend thinking about food, what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat. Without that constant noise, my focus sharpened. I had less decision fatigue, clearer thinking, and I was genuinely more productive. It was mental calm. Number 9. I became so much more body aware. My body started talking, and for the first time, I actually listened. The hunger cues were clear. The fullness cues were clear. There was no more guessing if I was supposed to be hungry or full. I developed a deep trust in my body's signals, leading to a level of self-awareness I'd never had before. Number 10. Social eating became intentional. A lot of people worry about this, but I didn't stop eating with people. I simply became more mindful about it. If I was hungry during a social gathering, I ate. If I wasn't, I didn't. The pressure to fit in by eating just because others were, it vanished. This flexible approach felt natural, not restrictive. Whether it was a big family meal in Nairobi or a casual dinner with friends, I found a balance. Number 11. I stopped fear eating. I wasn't eating, just in case I got hungry later. That constant, low-level panic about where my next meal was coming from disappeared. I stopped mentally stocking food for the future. Hunger started to feel safe, not like an emergency. Trust replaced fear, and my body felt resilient. Number 12. My sleep quality improved significantly. I realized that eating late, especially a heavy meal, was not helping my sleep at all. With lighter evenings, I felt less discomfort at night. Waking up in the morning became easier. My whole rest rhythm felt calmer and more natural. Sleep matters. 13. I realized that mealtimes are entirely cultural. The idea of 3 square meals a day isn't a biological mandate. It's a cultural habit. Our eating schedules are shaped by work, by the Industrial Revolution, by societal norms. Think about shift workers in London or Toronto. Their meal times are dictated by their jobs, not their bodies. Our bodies weren't designed to run on clocks. Hunger is universal, but meal times are not. 14. This experiment wasn't extreme. It was incredibly simple. There were no apps, no fasting timers, no calorie counting, and no banned foods. The only rule was to listen to my body, and that simplicity is precisely why it worked. And finally, number 15. The biggest lesson of all: trust your body. Your body already knows when to eat. Hunger is not the enemy. It's a helpful signal. Ignoring it and eating by the clock just causes confusion and disconnect. When you start to trust that signal, your body begins to self-regulate beautifully. Awareness beats rules, every single time. Trust hunger. So, what was the biggest surprise? It wasn't the weight loss or the stable energy, though those were great. The biggest surprise was how calm my relationship with food became. The constant noise, anxiety, and obsession just went silent. Now, of course, this is my personal experience. It's so important to always listen to your own body and your individual health needs. What works for one person might not work for another. I'm really curious to hear from you. Do you eat because it's a certain time of day, or do you wait until you're truly hungry? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. And if you found this interesting, consider subscribing for more experiments in mindful living. See you next time.